My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
What's up, gamer? I'm one of your subscribers. I just think you should do a video on Nintendo's recent announcement of them not having E3 conference this year. What do you think about that, bro?
Before I say anything, before our brother says anything, okay, we all know what E3 is about. E3 is the time for gamers. It's where we tune in every year come June, and we all get pumped. We all get excited. It's E3. It's a time to where we get to see what new things Microsoft is bringing to the table, what new things Sony is bringing to the table, for what new things Nintendo is bringing to the table. It's a time to where we have become accustomed to seeing a Microsoft conference, and they got people dancing out on stage for the new Dancing Connects game. It's a time to where we get to see another Gears of War or another Halo. It's a time to where we get to see another timed exclusive DLC for the next Call of Duty. It's a time to where we get to see some new irrelevant app coming to Xbox Live. And then we go to Sony's conference, and then they freaking show off what new games they got coming out, and to why you should still buy a PlayStation Move. And then we move on to Nintendo's conference, and they're just like, we really want people to buy Nintendo Land. I'm joking, but saying that, I got some things to talk about. This is just too good. I mean, I just could not pass out on this. So we're all used to seeing Microsoft have their conference and Sony have theirs and Nintendo have theirs, but Nintendo have just come out of the woodwork saying, I think we'll pass on having an E3 conference this year. Sorry, no E3 for us. We're done. You want to run by you want to run that by a brother again? I said I think we'll pass on E3 this year. We're not going to have an E3 conference. Maybe this is bad. You want to run that by a brother again, suckers? I said, I think we're going to pass out on E3 this year. No E3 for us, Nintendo. What? Like, that's all I heard. Nintendo will not have an E3 conference. Nothing else after that mattered to me. Now, there's a lot of misinformation being spread. Some people are making it seem like Nintendo won't be at E3 at all. No. At least to my understanding from the research I've done, to my understanding, Nintendo will be at E3. Make no mistake about it, my brothers and sisters. Nintendo will be there. They just decided not to have an E3 conference, which is very strange to me, because what has a brother said since Sony had that conference showing off the PlayStation 4? I said not just Nintendo, Microsoft, I said everyone, come E3, you better come dropping bombs. It's mandatory right now to drop bombs. If you're not dropping bombs, then you might as well not have a conference at all, which is, I'm guessing, to why Nintendo decided not to have an E3 conference. But let me get into some of the things that Nintendo President Satoru Iwata has said of why they decided not to have an E3 conference. Now listen very carefully, my brothers and sisters, okay? Satoru Iwata. We decided not to host a large-scale presentation targeted at everyone in the international audience as we did in the past. Let me read that quote this one more time. We decided not to host a large-scale presentation targeted at everyone in the international audience as we did in the past. He goes on to say, we are planning to host smaller events, much like a Nintendo Direct conference. Now, I don't know if it's just me. I've never watched a Nintendo Direct conference, but here's the difference between a Nintendo Direct conference and an E3 conference. All gamers are tuning in to watch E3 because Microsoft is there, Sony is there, Nintendo is there. You have a diverse group of gamers watching, and that's your chance to show off to why your console should be the best. Why whatever gamer is watching, why they should buy your console. A Nintendo Direct conference, I'm not saying just Nintendo gamers watch it, but how E3 is diversified with gamers, I'm pretty sure not all gamers are watching a Nintendo Direct. Like, a Nintendo Direct conference is for someone who has a Wii U or is a dedicated Nintendo fan and they tune in to watch that. But why? Like, why would you do that? The only conclusion that I came up with is that the only reason why Nintendo has decided not to have an E3 conference and to host these smaller events and to be at E3 but decide not to have a conference is that they're done appealing to the masses. They are done trying to appeal the Wii U to the masses and why they should buy the Wii U. I think Nintendo knows deep down inside they can't compete with Microsoft and Sony as far as performance, as far as games, as far as appealing to the masses. I think Nintendo knows they can't compete, which is why they decided to be at E3 but to not have a conference. What in the blue cheese is that? Like, and to host smaller events. Why? If someone could give me a reasonable explanation, and I don't want to freaking see no Nintendo fanboy trying to defend them. How can you defend this? Nintendo will be at E3, but to not have a conference? When have you ever heard that? And to host smaller events where E3 is your chance to show gamers of why you should buy that particular console? Someone please tell a brother. I don't see how this could be good for Nintendo. I think they have given up on trying to appeal the Wii U to the masses because I think they know deep down inside what is going to make someone buy a Wii U as opposed to when the PlayStation 4 or the next Xbox comes out. I think they know that deep down inside they can't compete with Microsoft and Sony. So he goes on to saying that they'll be at E3, but them being at E3 is going to give them a chance to talk about, Wii U titles that are coming out in the future. So I'm guessing to where, how when a conference ends and then, people can walk out in the venues and then go to the game stations and play games and, show off and, play the new games that are coming out in the future. I'm guessing that's when Nintendo will come in to where you can play the new Nintendo games at these stations and talk to the developers and stuff like that. But they're not having an E3 conference, but they're going to be at E3. I don't see how I'm wrong from what I think why they decided to do that. They know they can't compete with Microsoft. There's no other reason. Like, how can you defend this? If you're a die-hard Nintendo fan, I'm literally asking you, please give me a reasonable explanation of how this could be good for Nintendo. It's almost like he said it in the quote, but he decided to, try to, skip around the real reason. We decided not to host a large-scale presentation targeted at everyone in the international audience. So it's pretty much like he's saying we're done trying to appeal to the masses with our Wii U. Okay, we know we can't compete with Microsoft and Sony. We're just going to try to, keep our Nintendo fans faithful. That's literally pretty much what he's saying. Nintendo will not have an E3 conference. Man, I hate to use the word irrelevant when it comes to Nintendo, because some people got me twisted. I respect Nintendo a lot. Nintendo has done a lot for gaming. Like, gaming would not be where it is right now if not for Nintendo. Nintendo is not some company that just came out and they're just falling flat out on their face. Nintendo is an established, company. They know what they're doing as far as video games go. But as of right now, however Sony's conference is at E3, let's say if Sony's conference at E3 is even better than the conference they have for the PlayStation 4, and let's say if Xbox's conference is good, and for Nintendo not to be there, but actually be there, like they're there but won't have an E3 conference, You're literally almost shooting yourself in the foot. Like, what are you doing, Nintendo? I don't know what else to say, but E3 still will be very interesting. Nintendo will still be there. They just decided not to have an E3 conference. They decided to have smaller events, much like a Nintendo Direct. Who's going to tune in? What freaking Xbox or PlayStation gamer is going to tune in to watch a Nintendo Direct conference at this point in time? Someone please explain to me if this is I don't see how this could be a good thing. Just if you're a Nintendo fan, please give me a reasonable explanation of how this could possibly be good for Nintendo. Saying that, I'm out. I got nothing else to say. You guys leave your thoughts or comments or video response. And as always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video, my brothers and sisters. Some people have been requesting that I do my classic outro. As always, I greatly appreciate it if you rate the video, my brothers and sisters. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up. It could be a thumbs down, but what I do, ask every brother and every sweet, sweet sister. It's just rate the video. So saying that, Nintendo, I'll pray. I will pray.